Now, what is one of the most common issues when buying and selling a stock as a beginner, right? Well, it's not understanding when is the appropriate time to buy, or maybe not understanding the appropriate time to sell. What's going on, guys? It's Ricky with TechBud Solutions, and in this video, I'm going to be breaking down an indicator that actually gives you a buy and sell signal. I want to start this video off by saying very, very clearly, there is not one indicator out there in the world that is 100% accurate. One of the things that I always try to preach to our Learn Plan Profit team is that indicators are to be used as a reference, never a sole reason on when to buy and sell a stock. The reason I'm talking about this indicator is because I feel like if you are a beginner that is either struggling with knowing when to really cut losses on a position, knowing when to properly exit if there is a change of direction or a break of pattern, or waiting for confirmation to properly enter a position, this indicator could aid that. It's never going to be perfect, and I'm going to share in my perspective and in my opinion how I think someone like a complete beginner could potentially use it. I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you do, I would greatly appreciate it if you drop a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you haven't already. I'm going to start sharing my screen, and this indicator is available on the Webull trading application, and it's called the Super Trend Indicator. Again, Webull is a free trading application available to anyone in the US. Luckily, right now, they do have a free sign-up bonus, which means that if you use the 5th link in the description of this video, you will earn up to 12 free shares when you deposit $5. It is free, right? You just have to deposit $5 and you will earn up to 12 free shares when you sign up for Webull. If you have any questions about that, feel free to send me a direct message via Instagram, which is also linked in the description down below. It's literally super simple to add this indicator. You go to the actual indicator section under charts. Once you go on there, if it's not actually something that pops up right away, you click on indicators or you click on edit indicators. You scroll down and you're going to find it here, Super Trend Indicator. It has a default length of 7 and a default factor of 3. I'll explain what that is in a little bit. And luckily on Webull, again, it has a very clear definition and explanation of what the Super Trend Indicator is. And obviously, if you want to change it when it comes down to the different lines that it offers. Now, the reason that I find this to be pretty attractive in comparison to many other indicators that kind of give buy and sell signals is I often find myself, and again, I'm just speaking from my experience. I don't know if you would agree, but I often find myself on the 1 minute time frame with any indicator, you tend to make too impulsive decisions. There's too many times that someone would enter and exit. There's too many times that someone would exit and then enter again. I want to avoid that, right? I like to slow things down. If you're part of my LPP team, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I like to look at larger time frames. So I'm going to quickly click on the 5 minute, right? With the 5 minute, again, going from 1 minute, you can see how many buy and sell signals it has already given during the pre-market, during normal trading hours. If I go on the 5 minute, much less, right? So much less false breakouts or false break of patterns are given, right? So we can easily see, and there it goes, actually live, right? We just got our first buy signal. So how are these buy and sell signals triggered, right? This is something, right, I like to explain the why. So you understand what this thing is actually telling you, not just, okay, I'm going to buy, okay, I'm going to sell, right? But as you can see, today was a very bullish day, not a very average day, but a very bullish day. And you can see that it gave the buy signal here on the second candle for today, right? Today's 518. Feel free to look back to this and test the indicator out. Again, because I'm on the 5 minute time frame, it gave me a buy, and that means that the actual candle closed above the actual what was previously this descending or this red line, right? This is the super trend, but this was during a sell signal. So as long as the candle closes above that super trend line, then it will provide you a buy signal, right? So now that's when the arrow comes in and it's like, okay, we're a buy. And then it's not until the actual candle, right, this being a 5 minute candle, closes, right? So as this thing begins to indicate signs of an uptrend, it follows with this line. And this is the super trend line. It went from red, right, because that was when the overall pattern was trading below it. Now we're trading above the super trend line. So now it follows at a distance. The super trend line, the way that I view it, it's kind of like having like a stop loss, right, or a trailing stop loss. It follows as the pattern continues to indicate signs of an uptrend. And until there is a break of pattern that the actual candles themselves not just break below the super trend indicator, but close below the super trend indicator, then it gives you that actual sell signal. So you can see right now it went from a buy signal, and now the 5-minute candle closed below, right? So we can see very clearly it's testing the break above this super trend, right? Because we went and there it goes, right? It closed above that super trend line, and therefore it initiated a buy signal. But if this next candle closes below the super trend line, then again, it will initiate a sell signal. By slowing things down on the 5-minute, I avoid all of those impulsive entries and exits on the 1-minute by slowing it down on the 5-minute. If you want to slow it down even more, then again, you can either increase the length of the factor or increase the length of the indicator, and therefore just adjust it according to what it is that you specifically choose to trade. I focus on NASDAQ and NASDAQ ETFs. So this is something that I'm going to have a lot of fun with, tweaking as time goes on to find a proper length and to find a proper factor that is appropriate for the average type of way that NASDAQ trades, if that's even likely, right? Because we all know that NASDAQ continuously changes in the way that it trades. But I wanted to show you what happens if I change the length of the factor. And again, pay attention to these lines, right? The green line and the red line. If I decrease the length of the factor, so if I go to 2, as you can see, the actual bands themselves, the super trend bands, follow closer to the actual candles themselves. If I follow even closer, go back to 1, then you can see there are so many more buy and sell signals. If you like that, then again, there's a way for you to do that. I do not want to be someone that is consistently buying and selling the same stock when there is no true break of pattern. So for me, I would increase it back to 2, and then I can see, okay, do I appreciate this one? Do I not? The thing that I always ask myself is this actual indicator respecting the pattern and providing enough wiggle room that it doesn't give so many false breakouts? I don't like this one. I don't like that it gave a buy signal and then right away it gave a sell signal. So again, it's never going to be perfect, but I can adjust it accordingly, right? So this thing still makes sense to me because there's a proper buy there, there's a proper sell there, there's consolidation, and it wasn't until it properly broke above that again, I can see why there's a buy signal there, because we broke above that super trend. This makes more sense to me. I want to reduce the amount of times that I open a trade so I avoid over trading and impulsive trading. Remember, this is not perfect. It will never be perfect, but I can continue to adjust the length and the factor according to what it is that I'm trading to try to get as close to perfect as possible. And on any given day, if volatility changes or the way that it's trading changes, then I can also change the length and the factor. My thing is, for someone that struggles with proper risk management, of knowing when to exit a position, of knowing when to lock in profits, of knowing when there's a break-of pattern, or knowing when to properly enter a position, right, when you actually get confirmation, this can aid that. It's never going to be perfect, and of course, there are going to be false signals, and that's one thing that you must understand. But I feel like if you have something that assists you and you can use as a reference to have a better understanding of when to buy and when to sell when there's a break of pattern, then again, so be it. At least we're talking about it. You can test it out yourself. Test it means with a smaller position size, or you can paper trade with it. See if it actually works for you and your trading style, and then maybe you can implement it if you see it to be of value for you. Remember, there's not one indicator out there in the world that is 100% accurate. That's not the point of this video. This video is simply to test different things, right? And to kind of make you aware of what's available out there. You guys can let me know down in the comment section first, were you even aware of this indicator and how it's used? And second, what do you think about my setup? Trading NASDAQ on the 5-minute, slowing things down, and then adjusting the length to minimize the amount of buy and sell alerts or signals that it gives throughout the day. For me, I find it that it could be very valuable for someone that tends to overtrade and maybe being a little bit more selective with proper entries and proper exits. Remember, if you respect the buy signals, then you need to respect the sell signals, and it can't just be one side or another. So hopefully this thing can assist you in becoming a better trader. Remember, this indicator is available on the Webull trading application, and that's that 5th link in the description down below. I did want to remind you guys, I am going to be hosting a free live trading session this up and coming Friday. It is free to attend, and I'm going to be giving away $1,000 during that free live trading session. I would love to have you to tune on in so you get an inside look of what it's like to watch someone trade live in the stock market. And during that live, I could be using the super trend indicator, and I'll probably be testing it out with about $100,000. So if you want to see what that's like, please save your free spot, and that's that first link in the description down below. If you have any questions whatsoever, shoot me a direct message via Instagram, and that's linked in the description. And remember, I'm verified on Instagram, and that is my only Instagram account. All the other ones are fake. I will never ask you for money. I never trade for other people. Please understand that there's fake accounts of me everywhere. Please just report them. I offer one service and one service only, and that's to be able to watch me trade live. If you want to learn more about that, that should be linked in the second link down in the description. And again, if you see value in being able to watch me trade live every day, then I'll see you during our live trading session. Other than that, I appreciate your time. Hope that we're in a thumbs up. And like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.